The ultimate compliment is to be considered an asset by those who know you. But what exactly does that mean? And how do we get there? I believe that there is a less discussed approach to becoming a person of value, a person who is successful, respected by others, and fulfilled. It's somewhere between the hustle culture and the ease and flow of manifestation. This podcast is designed to be a resource for the ambitious, the relentless, and the rare who are breaking societal norms, going against the grain, and are open to unconventional practices as we study what it takes to be a true asset in every area of life. My hope is that you'll find this podcast unique and like it enough to share it with a friend and maybe even one day join us at one of our in-person events. Enjoy. You need this tool in your back pocket. And no, I'm not talking about a thing. I'm actually talking about a person. I'm talking about this woman by the name of Bridget, who is the founder of Lady Lost Shield. She's actually a former patrol deputy. She was the first woman at her agency to be on SWAT. She's faced an extreme amount of adversity. And you know what? She took it to not only be better in her life, but to make life better for all of us. And she's become an attorney who specializes in many things such as Brady Giglio situations, workers' comp cases, harassment, hostile workplace environment. She is excellent and top notch. And she's not just for women, although she does obviously understand a woman's point of view. If you are a first responder of any kind and you're going through something or you know somebody who is, give them her information. Go to ladylawshield.com and you can schedule a free call. You can send them their website or you can go to the show notes in this episode and check her out. Learn more about her. Bridget is somebody who's been working with my clients for years, and she is somebody who I want you to know about. What's up, everybody? Today we are going to talk about something that I've been getting asked for a lot. So if you're not on my Instagram channel, it's this new thing. You might want to get there because I'm doing a lot of daily voice messages, daily inspiration, daily quotes, and all the things that I can do to really help you on your day-to-day with your mindset. But also one of the benefits is I have put in there, let me know what you want me to talk about. How would this channel help you the most? And it's at the top. And it is a place for you to be able to put in there what you want me to riff on. What do you want me to talk about? And my team and I will check that frequently so that we can get that up on the podcast for you. And one of the questions, and I get asked this all of the time, is how can men support women? How can us men be supportive to what you're doing for women? And here's the thing, I got to be honest, when I get asked that, I take a few steps back because first off, I love that we have good men that want to support women, but immediately what I want to say is don't be an asshole. It's pretty simple. Don't be a gatekeeper. Don't be an arrogant asshole. Don't be insecure. like that. And then I think, maybe how can I be a little more helpful than that? Because that's the sarcastic part of me coming out, right? And I think here, if you genuinely want to know how you can be helpful to a woman who is on a mission, here's what I think. I think be a man. Right? Be a man. Don't buy into this toxic masculinity movement. I don't believe in that. Be a secure, supportive man. Men are, they're providers, they're protectors. And what I mean by that is I'm not even talking about financially, although that's, from relationship to relationship, that you guys have to determine that for yourselves. But I mean, provide safety, provide security, build her up, Build the women up. Don't be intimidated by a strong woman. A strong woman is literally somebody who's been through hell. She's been through hell and back. And she just chooses at this point to bet on herself. She believes in herself. She loves herself. And because of that, she's not insecure. A strong woman to me is not insecure. A strong woman is somebody who's been through everything I just said, been through hell and back, has had to bet on herself so many times because people have let her down. And now she chooses herself. She loves herself. She chooses herself. And what does that mean? That's not being selfish. It just means like she fills her cup up because she knows that when she fills her cup up, it helps her to feel more secure, helps her to feel confident about herself. Look, nothing good comes from insecure people. And like I riff about this a lot because I've been in so many situations and I've been around so many insecure people who try to come off like they're secure, but they're really not. And then they end up getting jealous. So something about me that you may or may not know, and again, this is probably not going to come off great, but I'm just going to be honest and tell you is I've had a really hard time throughout my life with people who are insecure because I have insecure moments, but I tend not to be a super insecure person. I think that we all have our moments. And when I was growing up, like I have been in relationships where I could get pretty insecure. They gave me reasons, but I naturally wasn't insecure until, the first boyfriend that I ever had was cheating on me. And actually, I was, let's see, 14 years old and he was 17. And he was cheating on me. And I thought he was the love of my life. If you could catch my drift. Took this relationship seriously, thought he was the love of my life. He was absolutely not. But when you're 14 and it's your first, relationship and whatever, and we dated for 6 months and come to find out he was talking so much shit about me behind my back to his friends. He like horrible things he'd say about me. And then I find out that he's like, I got this gut instinct that he was cheating on me, but I wasn't sure and I couldn't prove it. So this was back when we had like MSN and Yahoo Messenger and shit like that. So I created a MSN username and I started messaging him and I pretended to be some other girl and I baited him in and got him to like want to meet me and do you have a, you do that whole ASL. Remember that A/S/L/ age, sex, and location? You got to be a little OG to remember this shit, but I'm like dating myself. Anyways, and so I did that with him. But he didn't know it was me. Anyways, baited him in and caught him. And then other situations. So that right at an early age, at 14 years old, I started telling myself a story. Started telling myself a story that I'm not good enough. That I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not feminine enough. Men cheat. It's not, relationships aren't safe. Even though like I grew up, my parents are still married. They've been married for like 40 years, been together 40 years, married like 35 or something. Like they're very in love. They have a great relationship, but I started telling myself a story. So that created, I would say, a lot of insecurity for me. And from there, my insecurities, they weren't great for a while. but it's something I've always worked on. I've been in the martial arts since I've been 5 years old, and I'm also a competitor, or I was. And so I competed all over the state, all over New England. I'd compete in internationally. I'd compete in national tournaments. I really enjoyed competing. I mean, I grew up from 5 years old until I was like, oh, I don't know when the last time I competed was. It must have been 17, 18 years old. Maybe a little older than that. I can't remember. But so like I competed. And that really helped me as a martial artist because I wasn't a part of a team. Well, I was on a sport karate team and I was the captain of my team, but like I had to bet on myself. If I was going to win, I was going to go in there. There was no fucking team that was going to help me beat this person or win in forms. It was me. And honestly, I think for me, that really gave me this sense of confidence and this sense of self-assurance that was really honestly at my age and from like the things that I had gone through was just so good for me. But with that, here's what people don't talk about. With that, it tends to threaten a lot of people who are not secure with themselves. But as a coach, let me explain this to you. Coaching moment. Here's what I've learned. Now that I'm 33 years old and I've coached a lot of clients, men and women across the world. Been doing this for 8 years now, professionally, right? Here's what it means. I just continue to hold up a mirror to people who are insecure and who do not believe in themselves and who do not have strong like morals and ethics and values and and I'm just who I am and I'm very much the same everywhere. I have a lot of clients that come, I host retreats and all the things, and if you meet me in person, the one thing that I love, my most favorite compliment is, oh my God, you're exactly who I thought you would be. I'm like, oh, thanks. I really, really appreciate that because I've met people who I saw them online and they have this beautiful presence and they have this way about them. And then you meet them in person and you're like, what? Oh, there's some like misalignment there. Anyways, I I have my whole life kind of just been that person, and we all do it. We all do it. This is not just an Autumn is not the only person. I'm not unique. I'm not rare that way. I just think that I have kind of, when you're just good with who you are. And listen, being good with who you are doesn't mean that doesn't come with insecurities. Like I'm wicked insecure about certain shit. Like my face, I gained, so I'm up right now 15 pounds from where I want to be. That's the truth. Gained some weight. I feel very insecure about it. My face is fat right now. I do not have a great jawline. I'll get a double chin very quickly and easily. It's a genetic thing, but also I'm up. I'm up in my weight. So I hate that about myself. Truly, I'm very insecure about that one piece. I'm insecure about my stomach. When I gain weight, these are the two places that go, right to my stomach and right to my face. And I don't like that. But I think that while I'm insecure about those things, I'm not an insecure person. And because of that, I have held up that mirror and a lot of people have not liked me. They get jealous. They become threatened by me. Threatened, all that means, just so we're clear, I don't like that's like what social, like that's what society will have us say, like, oh, they feel threatened by you. But here's what it actually is they're not threatened by me. They're just threatened by the fact that I'm good with myself. And so it brings up like, wait, whoa, why am I not feeling as good about with myself as she's feeling with herself? Like she's not better than me, but why am I feeling this way? Oh, she thinks she's better than me. No, I don't think I'm better than anybody. Oh my God. I make more mistakes. I am so normal and try to be as absolutely down to earth as possible, while taking no shit. And that's a dance. That's a dance. And a lot of people don't like that. When people set boundaries, people don't like that. But the thing is that hurts, right? So like when you shine the fact that like, hey, I'm good with me, and when you shine that, because that's just who you are, and so that kind of like emanates from your being and like conversations with you, people don't like that when they're not good with them. And so that happens with people and men and women, but I find and here's what I have done for me, and if there's anybody listening to this, listen. I have found that I will go right out of my way to compliment women around me. I will make sure I am like, because I want them to know we're not in competition. Girlfriend, I see you. You are an asset in your life, and I'm an asset in my life, and we can rock this together. And I wasn't always that way. Fuck no, I was not always this way. When you grow up as a competitor, you look at everybody as competition. Male, female, it doesn't matter. I used to fight men. I would compete in tournaments against men as far as not for fighting, but for kumite, which is fighting. So not for forms, but check that. So not in, I'm saying it wrong. So kumite is fighting. Forms. My katas, I would compete with men. It was like the boys divisions or the men's and women's divisions. Sometimes if they were smaller enough, or just depends on where we were, we would compete against the boys. And class, you bet your ass, I was getting my ass handed to me. As you can tell, I talk about it a lot. I'm a little bit scarred. No. Yeah. It was the best thing that I could have ever gone through growing up as a child. As a teenager, it held me down. I would have gotten in so much more trouble in my teen years if I did not have my dojo and the people there who loved me and would call me out and make sure that I was on the path. So here's the thing is, so to go back and to answer that question, be a strong man. Be a man, be a strong man, be a secure man, be supportive of us, right? Be supportive of everyone around you. And don't try to prove yourself. Nobody needs to prove anything. And this goes to everybody. Don't try to prove yourself. The more I've ever tried to prove myself, the more it always comes out wrong. I feel really yucky about myself. And I just come across really kind of not loving her vibe, not loving her energy. And that's the truth. Like straight up. That is the truth. And so for men, that's really what I want, it's really what I want to see. And a lot of men will be like, well, because like I've had 3 men within the last like couple weeks ask me the same, very powerful men ask me the same question in the same, and how do we support women? Yeah, I mean, be strong, be strong, but be a man. And I think in today's society that really is frowned upon. And we need that because, I was watching a TikTok. I like TikTok. I'm just gonna be straight with you. If you're not hanging out with me on TikTok, you should be. I love TikTok. I was a TikTok came up last night and it was talking about this lady bot or a boss, like a boss, lady boss or boss lady or some shit like mindset, and that she doesn't need no man. And it's like, well, okay, I understand what they're saying. And yes, I do understand like that's like some severe childhood trauma. I don't believe I don't need no man. Like my husband and I, like at home, I'm very much the woman. Like I'm a very strong personality. I've learned to be able to communicate and discuss like, hey, I don't agree with that. And like, my opinion matters. And we have a lot of discussions about things together, but I'm at no point in time thinking I don't need him. Of course I need him. He's my best friend. He's my best friend. He is my partner. He is, he's the man. He's my man in our marriage and very valuable. He is my protector. And in so many ways, he's the provider, right? Not necessarily financially, but in every area. And there's times where he is. You're building a business, then you have to, as I've been building this business, there has been so many times I've leaned on him, especially in the beginning, right? For him to definitely provide for us. So yeah, I mean, I just think that's important. I just think that's important for the like strong women to know that too. It's like, I'm not saying for you to be dependent, but I'm also saying that when you are in a relationship, I just think it's when you find the right man, it's safe for you to be the woman. But a man has to show up and be a man for that. And so I know I'm kind of going all over the place. I just have so many thoughts around this topic because it's been really floating around in my mind. And honestly, I was very triggered the first time I ever heard it. I was at my friend's house out of state, and we're talking about it and all these things, and so much is coming up for me because I'm like, well, I'm not just gonna like step aside and I'm not just gonna be a doormat. But then like I realized, like, wait a minute, that's not actually like, that's just so two extremes, right? Like toxic masculinity is one extreme, and then like you have this like girl boss the other extreme, and like no, it's just like, listen, like men are here to be men. Let them be who they are, and women, we get to be who we are. And that doesn't mean like, it just means that we work perfectly together for the most part. And sometimes we don't. There's people who don't vibe with that, and that's okay too. But for me, that's what it means. And I think if for the men who are wondering, like, okay, Autumn, like, how do we support these women? I'll encourage them to be strong, encourage them to trust their guts. Their gut? No, not their guts. But you know what I meant. You know, support them, build them up, and allow them to be strong, be the strong women that they are, and don't be threatened by it. I think that's really important, because everything you do comes from this. Because like, you guys might be wondering, well, yeah, Autumn, okay, I know all that, but like, what do I say? What do I do? Well, first you have to understand that's the foundation to everything. You get that. Like, if you are not threatened by a strong woman, and you are very much a man, and you're masculine, and you are supportive of women, that's what we need. We need that. So everything you do from there is great, and I think to me, that's what I have for you. And I feel like that is very important. And I think that from there, you can make a lot of great decisions. Like, I'm not going to be able to sit here and be like, okay, if do this, say this. Like, no, we don't need that either. We need good men supporting good women, and we need good women supporting good men. And that's what we need. We need strong men and women out here in this country and fighting against the bullshit that's going on. We need men and women not to conform to the societal push to be weak and to conform. Yeah. We need men and women to not do that. And that all comes, honestly, from in here. It comes from in your heart and in your gut, and it comes from being strong and secure. Nothing good comes from anybody who is insecure. And I will say that until the day I die. I do not believe anything good comes from that. I don't think it's good energy, and I don't think good decisions come from that. And I just don't think anything good comes from anybody being insecure. So that is what I have to say about that. So what do we have going on? So come to my Instagram channel at the Autumn Clifford. Come to TikTok, hang out with me, Autumn Clifford. If you're not in my Facebook group, I have a free Facebook group. It's called She's an Asset. If you are a woman who is local, man or woman, to Maine or New Hampshire, as we all know, I am Maine based. I am hosting She's an Asset self-protection parties. It's really about empowering women, and we're doing children too, which is really fun. If you're interested in hosting one of them, it's free for the host. It's really exciting. We could talk about it. Email me, message me, DM me. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you want to, I think we have a few slots left for the Bad Bitch Club, which is an exclusive, highly exclusive. I've never opened it before publicly. This has been only for my one-on-one clients, but this is an exclusive club filled with women all over the country. predominantly in law enforcement, but strong women. This is for strong, motivated women ready to 10x themselves, go to their next level, transform, and be around highly, highly supportive women. That is open now. You get 2 calls a month. You have access to me, and it is not as expensive as working with me privately. The community and the camaraderie in there is unmatched. And it is, we only have a few slots left because I will shut it down when we get to 20, because it is meant to be a highly small community, intimate. I was looking for intimate. It's meant to be a highly intimate community. All right. This has been fun. Here's what I want you to remember. Prove them wrong. Always. Because you are the asset. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the She's an Asset podcast. If you wouldn't mind, could you please share this out? The only way we grow and I can get this out to as many people as possible is with your help. So we're kind of in this together. And the good thing is I know you have my back. So I want to say thank you and ask for you to share the show. And if we're not hanging out in the socials, I hope that you'll come and hang out with me. I'm Autumn Clifford pretty much everywhere. Thank you so much. See you next time.